What's the story, Morning Glory? What's the word? Hummingbird. Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of Life After Lockup Season 4, Episode 11. It seems like they were on a very, very long hiatus, but we're back with Episode 11, and we're starting off with Lindsay. So, Lindsay was the one that used to date Scott. Scott was the guy that had the upper lip that looked like a wasp had stung him. So, they had a horrible falling out because she was just using him. He caught on to it and he wanted her out of his damn house. And so instead of just leaving peacefully so that she can avoid going back to jail, she decides to vandalize his property, vandalize his home. He calls the cops on her and she got arrested. So she did 18 months in jail or in prison. I have no idea which one. And now she is finally out. Now, the person that comes to pick her up is some random friend of hers that comes to pick her up. Obviously, it's not Scott and it's not her mom. I think her mom is fed up with her because she cannot get it together. She has a whole daughter that she needs to raise, but she's not involved with her own kid because she's constantly in and out of jail. So some friend comes to pick her up. She lets it be known that her and this guy are not messing around. There's no way for them to ever mess around because he used to buy drugs from her. And so there's this code of ethic on the streets that the drug dealer and the drug buyer can never fool around. So the guy, I think, he's willing to have her stay with him until who knows when. And they're in the car. No, before we even get there, Lindsay then proceeds to tell us that now she is involved with Deontay. Now, Deontay or Dante, he is the one that was with, I forgot her name. But y'all know who I'm talking about. The one who had, Deontay on one side, and then she had her prison ex-con girlfriend on the other side, and she didn't know which one she wanted. She ended up choosing the prison ex-girlfriend, the ex-con girlfriend, ended up choosing her. I think they got married or whatever, living happily ever after. Deontay was kicked to the curb. So Lindsay picked him up, or should I say, Deontay slid into her DMs. He tells us that he was attracted to Lindsay's Mississippi twang and her jerking head. He found all of that very attractive. She tells us that she found his sense of humor attractive. What sense of humor, Lindsay? I don't remember Deontay being that funny. If anything, Deontay was a very sad and pathetic case of a man. So, but we know what the real deal is. Obviously, she's with Deontay because he's got money. He loves to waste his money on his prison girlfriends. That's what he lives for. That's what he works very hard for, to stack up a lot of money so he can go spend it on his ex-con or current con girlfriends. Now, the next day, I don't know what day it is, she's in the car with her friend and they're driving around to go, I have no idea where, and she gets a call from another friend saying that yet another friend has been arrested. So Lindsay is willing to bail him out. Lindsay has the money to bail him out. I mean, you have a daughter. I don't know how much money you're giving to your mom every single month to take care of your daughter, but you want to go spend $700-800 to bail out some friend of yours who got arrested because they had warrants or they had drugs or who knows what was going on there. And I'm like, Lindsay, are you kidding me? You're going to spend that much money to bail out some friend of yours who got himself in jail, but not, I don't know, maybe you are sending money to your mom, but they just don't show it right as to how they edit it, right? So she's trying to find someone with an ID because she doesn't have an ID. Plus, she has warrants, so she cannot bail out another convict. So she's trying to find someone who she can send the money to for them to bail out her friend. It was just absolutely insane to me what I was watching, like completely insane. And then she keeps on having different phones. I don't know if anyone else noticed this, but she always has a different. Like, where are they getting these phones? Are they borrowing the phones from the producers on the show to make calls, or does she have her own phone, or what? Let's move on from there. Taylor and Chance. Okay, so we know that they're now engaged. We saw their engagement in episode 10, which was like 5 years ago. We saw their engagement. And so Taylor now has to break it to her sister, Bobby, that she is engaged to Chance. Now, Bobby and Chance hate each other. I don't care what kind of conversation they had to make it look like they were trying to, make amends and be back on the same page or whatever the hell. They hate each other. So now she has to tell her sister that now she's engaged to the man that her sister hates. So she goes into her sister's room, which she shares with one of her daughters. And the sister shares a room with one of Taylor's daughters. And she tells her, he proposed to me and now we're engaged. And the sister's just like, okay. dummy. And so Taylor says, "Do you want to see my ring?" And so she shows her sister her ring, and her sister kind of glances at it, and she's like, "Oh, it's cute." So then Bobby's not in full support of this engagement at all. She doesn't care for Chance at all. Bobby tells Taylor that, okay, whatever, you want to get married, fine, I don't care, but I'm going to keep my eye on him. And if he lets his temper get the best of him again, I will not be in support of this wedding at all. So Chance comes in and he says he wants to build Bobby a room in the garage. He wants to send Bobby back in the garage. And Bobby's like, hell to the no. You're not going to shove me back in the garage again. I'm a part of this family. I'm going to stay in the house with everybody else like a normal family member. You're not going to shove me in the garage like the family pet or something. No. And so then Chance tries to convince her, hey, this is going to be really good for you. I'm not trying to push you away. I'm just doing something for you. And it's like a hard no for Bobby. She's like, no, absolutely not. And this is the thing. Okay, Bobby, okay, fine. Your sister Taylor brought in this man into your home, into your life, and you don't like it. You don't want to deal with it. Okay, then Bobby, why don't you just get your own place? I'm not going to be living in a place where I'm miserable with the people that are there. There's just no way I would do that. I would find my own place. I would stay in one of those I don't know what you call them. Those in-town suites, those little motels that you can pay by the week and they've got a stove and a kitchen and all of that. I would rather stay there and pay some high rent than stay in a home where I'm just not comfortable in. So Bobby, if you don't like what you're seeing that your sister's doing, girl, why don't you just walk away and leave? And they can find their own babysitter and, deal with their own children their own way, and they don't have to use you for that. But let's move on to Kevin and Tiffany. So Kevin and Tiffany, what is going on here? The last time we saw them, they got into a fight because, Tiffany found out that Kevin was talking to other women, and so she got fed up. And the last time that we saw her, she was leaving Kevin's house, walking down the street and out of Kevin's life, but they're back together again. So they're in some okay, so Tiffany, they're back together again. I don't know how that happened. I don't think they really explained to us how that happened, but they're back together. And they are sitting in a restaurant and they're talking about, bringing in a third party to their relationship. So they're talking about that, and it's just so exhausting because all of this stuff is just so they're anyways. So they're trying to talk about, okay, yeah, we're going to bring in a third party. And Kevin is like, hey, this is a win-win for me. She gets whoever she wants and I get to have two women. So it's a win-win for me. And he gives her some, he says, you know what, she's got to be fine. She can't be broke because I'm not taking care of nobody, as if this is even going to happen. We know this is not even going to happen. Anyways, moving on. So they go back to Kevin's house and they go online and they create an online profile for the two of them, looking for a third party to join their relationship. I don't know if it's their relationship. I don't know if it's to join them for a night, an hour, a minute. I have no idea. It's all so stupid to me. And so Kevin says he's very cautious. He's like, if Tiffany plans to leave me for this third party that we're going to be including in our relationship, then I got something for her because I also have a plan B. The next morning, we get the obligatory analysis of how the previous night went down. And it was fireworks, it was excitement, it was joyful. So Kevin starts receiving all of these text messages on his phone. His phone is just blowing up with text messages, and he refuses to look at them. And so Tiffany's like, oh, look at your phone. Look at your phone. See who's texting you. So he kind of glances at his phone and he automatically sees that it's Kayla, but he tells her that, oh, it's my buddy wanting to go work out at the gym. Of course, she doesn't buy it. She wants to see the phone, but he won't let her see the phone. Anyway, she wakes up, makes breakfast for him, burns the damn toast. And he says I don't know where he's going. I have no idea. People just randomly just walk out, get in a car, and just start randomly driving around. No idea where they're going. But anyways, when he leaves the house, Kayla calls him. And Kayla's upset because she saw their Tinder profile of them looking for a third party. And I'm like, what is Kayla doing on Tinder? If you're so upset that Kevin is with another woman, why are you on Tinder? Like, what's going on here? So it would be a win-win if Kayla was that third party. If Kayla and Tiffany could get along enough to share Kevin, then it'd be a win-win for everybody. Tiffany gets her girlfriend. Kevin gets to still have, he can still bang Kayla whenever he wants. It'll be a win-win because he's already doing that, but now he can just do it in front of Tiffany and Tiffany can join it. Like, it's a win-win. Why not just ask Kayla to be that third party? Whatever. So Kayla is going off on him about, you're such a liar. Why can't you just admit it that you're with that Tiffany girl? I thought y'all broke up. When are you going to come clean? I mean, it just goes on and on. But Kayla, girl, what are you doing on Tinder? If you're on Tinder looking for your own situation, why do you care that Kevin is with Tiffany? I'm so confused. Sean and Sarah. Sean and Sarah. So Sarah's been out for about 10 months for like some type of I don't know what they called it, third degree manslaughter or something. I thought out of all the crimes that these people have committed, that the inmates have committed, hers is the most interesting one because somebody actually lost their life. Anyway, so she is out. Her and Sean are still together. They're still engaged. And she's 5 months pregnant and they're planning a wedding. Now, Sarah is extremely tiny. She's very, very small. And she's got her little bump and it's so cute. So anyways, yeah, so she's 5 months pregnant. They're planning a wedding and Sean's excited, even though he already has 6 kids. I guess that excitement of expecting a new baby, it never gets old. So while he's with her, they're at the venue of where they're going to be getting married, and his phone keeps on just blowing up, and it's his ex-wife Kelly. And so Sarah tells him, I already told you that you need to you need to get that under control. You got to talk to her so she can stop calling you. Blah blah blah. Girl, they have 6 kids. Okay, at any given time, there's something going on with one of their children at all times because they have a lot of kids. So he needs to answer the phone to make sure that it's not an emergency. Sarah, you need to get used to the fact that this man had a whole entire family, a whole entire life before he met you. And that they don't just disappear because he's with you now. So whenever your ex girlfriend, ex baby mom, whatever the hell she is to you, when she calls Sean, answer the damn phone because it could be a damn emergency with your children. Don't ignore her. She's raising 6 children by herself. And your thank you to her is to go out and marry an ex-con. And just answer the damn phone. Make Kelly happy. Answer and put her on speakerphone. Like, why does it bother Sarah so much when Kelly calls Sean? Does she think that they're messing around behind her back? Because I can promise you, Kelly is not interested in getting back with Sean. I can promise you that. So let the man answer the damn phone, and then to ease Sarah's insecurities, Sean put Kelly on speakerphone. Moving on from there. So they're on the way to see Sean's family. They're going to go see his sister, his nephew, and his oldest son. So they get to the place, and everybody greets each other, whatever. And the sister tells us that she didn't even know that Sarah was even pregnant. So she was surprised to see that she was pregnant. So they all sit down and it's really awkward. It's very strange. I have a feeling that the sister really doesn't care for Sarah. She probably has some sort of an allegiance towards Kelly because Kelly's been there the longest and has 6 of her nieces and nephews. And so the son's opinion about his father getting married to Sarah, he's just like, you know what? They're adults. They can do whatever the hell they want. I have no say so in that. And I think Sarah's pretty cool. He's very chill, very laid back, very nonchalant. He doesn't give a damn. His dad can do whatever. So the sister asked them, are y'all having a boy or a girl? Sarah says, we're going to find it at the wedding. We're going to have a gender reveal at the wedding. And then the sister says, well, I hope y'all are not getting married just because, you're pregnant. And that was very offensive for the sister to say that. Like, how could you say that to somebody? But she said it, and they denied it. And Sarah goes on to say, when he proposed to me, he had no idea that I was pregnant. I already knew, but he didn't know. So he proposed to me without even knowing that I was going to have a baby. Now, I will say this. Sean seems really happy with Sarah, like really, really happy with her. I think he seems happier with her than he was with Destiny. Speaking of Destiny, I don't ever want to see Destiny ever again. I think she just, something about her. Every time I look at Destiny, she makes me feel nervous because she's very jittery. She's very angry. You don't know when she's gonna like completely pop off, and she pops off at any time for any reason. Every time I see her, I'm like very, very nervous. So they're out there getting their fittings. Sean and his son, they're getting fittings for their tuxedos or whatever. And Destiny calls him. So he goes outside to take the call. And Destiny keeps talking about how she wants her money. I have no idea what she's talking about. I have no idea. So she keeps telling Sean, "When are you gonna give me my money? I want my money." Blah blah blah. And then he hangs up on her. And as soon as he hangs up on her, she says into the phone, "And I'm pregnant." But he has already hung up. And I'm like, wow, no wonder this man's got 6 kids. He is super, super potent. Very potent. In fact, I think I got to go take a pregnancy test to make sure I'm not pregnant for watching him, from looking at him on my TV. So after that, Destiny, she is getting a fitting for her wedding dress, which I thought was very pretty on her, and it hit her bump really well. I thought she looked really pretty in her wedding dress. And so, what do we do with her? What did I write about her? That's all I can say. She was getting a fit. Oh, at the place where she was getting her fitting, the mom, the lady the person that worked there, the employee at the store, was asking her mother, how does she feel about, Sarah getting married, blah, blah, blah. And the mom was like, I'm not in support of this. I'm not in support of this at all. I don't like him. I don't want her to marry him, but it is what it is. Yes, ma'am. It is what it is. Let's move on to Chaz and Branwen. I don't know why Chaz calls her Branwen. Isn't her name Bronwyn? It just really irritates me how he says Branwen. So Chaz and Bronwyn, okay, so they're still together. They're still living in separate states. Bronwyn is hanging out with her friends, and they're basically grilling her on her relationship with Chaz. They're like, well, how do you really, really feel about him? Because they find it hard to believe that she likes him in any kind of romantic way, that there's any kind of romantic connection between them. So why the hell would she be doing this? And she tells him that she needs to get the hell out of, I think she's in Portland, whatever state she's in, Portland, I think. She says she's got to leave. She can't stay there because she's going to end up in jail again. So she needs to get the hell out of Portland and start a new life with Chaz in Kentucky. And her friend was like, well, we know that he's going to give you that American dream that you've always wanted, a home, security, money. He's going to take care of you. But is this what you really, really want? And she's like, yes, this is what I want. And so she still plans, I guess, on moving to Kentucky to go be with Chaz. And Chaz, on the other hand, he's talking to his bandmates because he's in this band, and he tells them that, yeah, I'm married. This is his 5th marriage, and his friends were kind of surprised about that, but whatever, it is what it is. So, yeah, we're gonna see more of Chaz and Branwen. Moving on to Brittany and Marcelino. This was interesting as hell. So Brittany and Marcelino, they are the OGs of Love After Lockup, Life After Lockup, all that good stuff. They're still together, raising their kids together, making it do in Las Vegas. So they have that little encounter with Brittany's friend. I forgot her name. They had their little encounter with her, and Brittany tells us that ever since their encounter, their little menage a trois, Marcelino has been acting very different. I guess he's been acting more distant from her. And from what we could see, Marcelino was like really stressed out because he's a stay-at-home dad. Brittany got her realtor's license, so she's out there selling homes, and Marcelino is at home with the kids, and he seems to be very stressed out. And like there's like tension in their marriage now, right? So, and I like Brittany and Marcelino. I think out of all the couples, I really root for Brittany and Marcelino the most. So we see Brittany, she's on her way to work, and she's got to show a $3 million home. So she's there with her coworker who's kind of like showing her the ropes because she's just starting off now into selling homes. And she meets up with her clients and she's showing them the house. And she tells us that if she makes a sale on this $3 million home, her cash out is going to be $75,000. That's going to go a long way for her and her family. So all of a sudden, Marcelina shows up at the home that she's showing, and she comes outside to talk to him. You know, she's in the middle of work. She's working, okay, trying to make money. So she goes outside to talk to him. He brought the damn kids with him. And he's like, you know what? You got to wrap this up because I got stuff to do. You got stuff to do. I got stuff to do. So now it's your turn to take these kids because I got to go. And he hops into the car that she drove there with and leaves the truck with the kids in it. And I was just like, Marcelino, no, sir. This is not what we do. No, sir. Nuh-uh. You cannot just dump the kids off on her while she's in the middle of working. This is work, okay? Just because she's outside in the fresh air and she's showing off a home does not make this any less work than as if she was working in an office or wherever. So you can't just dump the kids off on her, and now then she had to reschedule her whole entire appointment with her clients. And that's no, Marcelino, what you did was wrong. It was foul, absolutely foul, especially since she's doing this for the benefit of you and your children. So I didn't understand why he did that, but that was just awful. And I need Brittany to read him the entire riot act when they get back, when she sees him again. She needs to give him, a piece of her damn mind, because that was unacceptable. And he should never, ever, ever, ever think that he could do that again while she's in the middle of working. You need to be a team, work together. She's trying to make money for y'all. I mean, if anything, go get a babysitter. Oh my God. And do you think she's going to be showing this house all day and all night? No, just be patient. Wait for her to do her job. Wait for her to do her thing. And then wait for her to come home and she'll take over. Then you can go run the streets. Anyways, that is my review. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate it. If you made it this far, on your way out, don't forget to rate the video if you like this content. Please subscribe. If you don't like this content, don't worry about it. But thank you for stopping by anyway. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.